What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the Opinionated Hippie, continuing my deep dive into Neil Young's complete catalog. Today, I'm going to discuss a live album released in 2011 called A Treasure. This is a document. We got more country, got some more country for you. Are you ready for the country? That's the question you have to ask yourself with this one. From his 84 85 US tour, in which he was doing a whole bunch of deeply fiddle heavy country songs. If I have an issue with the country, it's the too much fiddle. Everything else is I'm okay with, but the fiddle on this is very very aggressive. But it's a bunch of tracks from those tours. It is not a complete show. We did have I guess it was a complete show, but the Austin City Limits show, also from '84, that was complete. This is just the country tunes that he was playing. Oh no, there is one older song. Okay, unlike that ACL thing, which had like Powderfinger and a couple of older songs, this one is one older song. Otherwise, it's a bunch of just his country flavored stuff. A lot of it yet to be released, some of it already released. And interesting thing about this, there's 12 songs. The order of the songs is the order of the performances. So like the first track was from September 84, the last track is from September 85. They go in chronological sequence. But then they also, for the most part, mimic what those set lists look like. So, as I would imagine that the songs just got better as they got used to playing them, and they got a little more eyebrows on them. So it's interesting to hear over the course of this CD, you're getting performances that this band has been around longer and have been performing these songs longer, as almost like, but also it would be like a show also where early in the show they've yet to warm up, and at the end of the show they're warmed up. So I don't know. That's something a little bit fascinating, I think. I like this one better than the ACL release for some strange reason. Not sure what it is, because like I said, the sequence of the songs is pretty similar. Maybe a couple of the fluffier or the less interesting country songs are cut, that we are losing something like Powderfinger, which is fantastic. But we are gaining a song that is, I believe, only available here and then also now on Archives 3. And if you're not going to invest in Archives 3, which if you can, I highly recommend it, a song called Gray Riders, which is from this tour. I believe this is the first time it was ever released. There's a couple songs on here that were released for the first time with this. Amazing. It's the last song on here. It's from that September 85. It's heavy. It's weird. It's still got some country flavors, but it's more like a galloping, like Gray Riders, what you would imagine a Gray Riders soundtrack would sound like, with some aggressive neo guitar playing. A fantastic piece that is kind of a must hear. And it's on this, and it's not available elsewhere other than Archives 3, I believe. I don't think it's anywhere else. But yeah, and it was released as a single, interestingly enough, back in 2011. Didn't know people were still releasing singles, to be honest. 12 tracks, opens up with Amber Jean, just like a short, no frills country song dedicated to his daughter. I like this song. I've really come around to it over the years. This is from a TV performance on Nashville Now in '84. So the whole CD starts off with somebody introducing Neil Young, and then we're off. Just a short little, I don't know, effective country song. Amber Jean, it's about his daughter. What better inspiration for a country song? Then we get Are You Ready for the Country? Full-on country version of Are You Ready for the Country? We're setting up the country. We're like, it's a question for the audience. Hey man, you haven't seen me in a couple years. I'm not that guy. I'm not the crazy horse guy. We're bringing the country tonight. Are you ready for it? It Might Have Been follows. This is the same It Might Have Been performance that was on Austin City Limits. So I don't know if I think it was a regular part of these shows, of these set lists. This is a cover song, The Saddest Four Words, It Might Have Been. Just a really nice little country tinged folky song that I really like. Excellent choice of covers, fits right in here. Kind of dilutes some of the really hard sort of dun 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 country flavor, and gives us a little more like country flavor, and not like Nashville country flavor. Then we get Bound for Glory, which I think is probably the best song on Old Ways, his like pure country album from this era. Kind of a Chris Christopherson 70s Waylon Jennings. It was a Waylon Jennings duet on the album. Got that kind of storyteller vibe. hitchhiker and a trucker, they fall in love. It's just got that nice momentum of a story and just kind of slightly upbeat. I like that. Good song. Let Your Fingers Do the Walking follows, which I'm not a fan of. When you gave good phone is one of the lines. When you gave good phone. Yeah, it's got a lot of phone play on words type things. Not a horrible song, but just kind of eh. And then we get another thing which for me makes this really good and really, really, really elevates it. First four songs are amazing. Let Your Fingers Do the Walking. It's only 3 minutes long. I could do without it. But then we get a Flying on the Ground is Wrong. And it just sounds awesome. And when he starts singing and those chords in the beginning and then he starts singing and that melody is just so flying. I love it. Just so many little different melodic phrases that bring different ideas through that chorus. Just such an absolutely amazing song, Buffalo Springfield song. One of the treats on this, right there in the middle of the album, in the weakest part of the album. Like the beginning is strong, the end is strong, the middle is kind of weak. Flying on the Ground is Wrong, saves that middle. Motor City, which is a song I don't really care for lyrically. It's got this almost America first, not necessarily xenophobic, but just kind of anti-internet. I mean, it's just, I don't know, rallying against the car industry. We got too many foreign cars over here and blah, blah, blah. Just some weird energy that Neil's bringing in this album, on this song. It just kind of doesn't fit in a more, I don't know, non-confrontational country vibe. That Austin City Limits show, he also did Hawks and Doves, which also just didn't fit in. But Motor City, I don't know, doesn't really fit here. Soul of a Woman, another song I just don't care for. It's kind of your typical blues, country blues, rocker, stomper, kind of a breakdown in the middle. Every man was what a man needs from a woman type vibe. Just don't like that energy. And then we end with four pretty good songs. Get Back to the Country. Hey, I did the rock and roll thing. I'm going to go back to the country. Really high octane country song. We're going full fiddle here. Southern Pacific, a near just, it sounds like a locomotive out of control. The banjo picking on Southern Pacific is amazing. Little breakdown in the middle of this, that's fantastic. Just this driving song about trains, about a conductor who's aged out and they're forcing him to retire. And just, oh, it's an amazing, amazing song. Nothing is Perfect, which I believe is also only available here. It might be on Archives 3. I'm just now getting to this part of the Archives box set, kind of following that box set with these releases, with the main releases. Nothing is Perfect. Nothing is Perfect. References to the Lord and God here. Interesting little straightforward country song. Probably the purest. I don't know. There's something pure about the country that Neil's bringing here. Not my favorite song, but it's not a horrible song. And then the absolutely amazing, fantastic. You kind of got to track it down and hear it if you haven't. Gray Riders, which is just a beast of a song. How it didn't make it on other releases or get an official recording, and why we only heard it in 2011. Why no one realized the awesomeness of this track. I don't know, but it's fantastic. And there's a Zappa connection there because it's from Pier 84 in New York, which is where I believe Does Humor Belong in Music was. Now, this was the following year, about a year, almost a year to the date after that show. Interesting. All right, the Zappa show, that is. But yeah, I like this release better than the ACL thing. I like this release better than Old Ways. I think just because you have the good Old Ways songs on here. Bound for Glory. That's about it. Get Back to the Country. You don't have that awesome one that was the opener, or the second song, the opener, the ballad, the cover. But then you also have Southern Pacific and Gray Riders, and Flying on the Ground is Wrong is just awesome, just beautiful. What an amazing song. But yeah, I'm not going to rank this among the others. When I'm done with all the live stuff at the end, I'll probably rank them all. This is going to be probably somewhere towards the bottom. But then again, we're talking about a Neil live collection, so they're all good. Going to be higher than that ACL thing. Somewhere near the bottom, that I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's unlistenable. And I do think it starts off really strong, got a weak middle, ends really strong. But in the weak middle, this island of just perfection that you have to swim through some country muck to get to, that flying on the ground is wrong. I'm going to say that one more time. I friggin' love that. All right, that's it. Those are my thoughts on A Treasure. After this, I'm moving out of the country and into the synthesized 80 sounds and robotic drum beats, both in studio and live with Crazy Horse. It's going to be a fascinating couple more listens and videos and years ahead as we emerge out of this crazy 80s into the another glorious run that he would have at the end of the 80s into the 90s. But anyways, this is kind of a treasure. There are treasures on here for sure. It's at least worth checking out because you might love it, right? And I think you have to hear great writers. And I'm rambling. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do those things. Peace. Talk to you later.